Hello everybody, I'm Kamaleao, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to overanalyze fight scenes from the movie Blade 2. Why am I going to do that? Very simple. I have a long background in multiple martial arts, and that kind of makes you look at movies, and especially fight scenes in movies, a little bit differently. It makes you appreciate it very much when movie makers make an effort to do stuff in a realistic way, and when you see scenes and fight scenes and strategies and techniques where you say, yeah, that would really work, that makes sense, that's a good fighting style, a good fighter. And on the other hand, it makes you really laugh at stuff that is completely pointless and saying, oh no, please don't do that, that's so stupid. Or stuff that just simply doesn't make any sense. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. The whole movie will be played at a much lower speed than it originally is played in, simply because it makes it easier to see what I'm talking about. Now this is the first thing. It isn't really part of the fighting, but it still bugs me. Why syringes on fingertips? And why 4 of them? They all have their... I mean, they all go back into one tube, so they all push in the same stuff. And even if you need it in 4 different places, wouldn't traditional syringes just be far more practical? But anyway, they like them, apparently. But anyway, this is great. He's actually not going for the classic grab you by the throat and throw you away strategy. Well done. Very, very good. If you want to get in close, you go in close. And that's exactly what he does. Now this guy is strange. First of all, he shoots like 4 or 5 times into his back, and up until now you can't really see, or he can't really see, whether his bullets have any effect or not. And he stops shooting. Why? He doesn't know that his bullets have no effect. Maybe he is dying right now and he's just being a bit slow, falling down. But not shooting anymore, even if his bullets have no effect. Shoot somewhere else, shoot his head, shoot his legs, just keep shooting until your magazine is empty. Or you could, of course, just stand there, menacingly hold your weapon out, and probably die. Also okay. Okay, now we have Blade running down an alley, chasing some guys, and there the other guy just told 2 dudes to stop them. Really? How? And why would they even try, knowing that the Daywalker is coming, who is vastly more powerful, and seeing a much larger group running away? And that's just what happened. Didn't really stop him. Or slow him. But why didn't he use this long and narrow alley to just shoot them in the back? He has the pistol in his hand. Doesn't make any sense. Now, these 2 guys stop, turn around, and look where he is. Again, why? Why? I mean, even only turning your head while you're running makes you really much slower. And if Blade is so much faster than them that he got somehow in front of them, then they're dead anyway. And standing and waiting and splitting up is probably a very bad idea. That's a very good use of the element of surprise. Use it to show off your acrobatic skills. Probably a very good idea. Now, in this case, it doesn't really matter because this is just, look how powerful a hero is, cannon fodder. So, doesn't really matter. But still, pretty dumb. I distrust the way he holds that pistol. Besides, that thing is huge. It should at least leave a visible bulge in his coat. It doesn't, so I think they just got rid of it. Now these guys are just driving towards Blade, and his reaction is, get out the trusty batarang. Which is good. It's nice. and he throws it in a straight line. So far, everything great. Now here, hitting something hard and fast enough with your motorcycle handle to throw that amount of sparks would probably have serious effects on your front wheel alignment. But back to the batarang. How does it know when to come back, and how does it change direction? Telekinesis and magic are not part of Blade's skill set, right? At least not as far as I know. But anyway. Now Blade plays a bit bullfighting. And he blocks the front wheel of the motorbike. Which is fun. But that is one hell of a flip. I mean, that motorcycle wasn't going that fast. So, sure, if you block the front wheel of a fast-moving motorbike, it will flip over. If you block the front wheel of a motorbike that is moving at a snail's pace, not much is going to happen. But okay. Strangely, even though the vampire was thrown off straight ahead, he's now lying pretty much to the side. Also, the distance was completely different from between each shot. Now, this scene shows us that Blade simply has way too many toys, and he wants to use them all. That's no criticism. You can never have enough toys, and you definitely have to use them all. How did he park there? That's like the most inconvenient parking spot ever. Must have taken him ages. Now take a look at that helmet, especially the piece where the mouth guard thingy is. Right here it's solid red. And a few seconds later, there is a very noticeable black line in the middle of it. And that is there because they pre-split the helmet. Because the way it rips apart right now, here, just into two halves, that's not what happens when you destroy an actual motorcycle helmet. So yeah, they pre-split it. Now Blade hears people are coming, and he gets into his fighting stance, and this is the best fighting stance ever. All he has to do now is raise one leg, and he's essentially in the original Karate Kid's crane kick position. And we all know that's the best position you can be in. That's just perfect. Now, some guy is going to come from the top there behind Blade, and he's going to use his element of surprise in the best way possible. He probably learned that from Blade himself, by screaming and jumping next to him. Blade reacts with the most unnecessary wall jump ever, and the guy is dead. Now we have the next group of vampires coming in, and there are several things that are good and several things that are not so good about this scene. And I'm going to say them before, and then as we go through the scene, I'm going to point them out. Things that are very good about this fight scene. Distance. Distance is something that is almost always done bad in cheaper made fighting scenes. Because, of course, it's safer if I have, like, a bat or an iron rod, or if I'm just kicking you. It's safer if I stand so far away from you that even if things go wrong, I cannot actually hit you. But that always looks fake. Really fake, if you know what to look for. This is not the case here. They actually stand close enough to hit each other most of the time. Not always, but most of the time. Another thing that is very good is how Blade uses grips. If you get close enough to an opponent and actually grab him and go into kind of a grappling situation, you want to use that. You can do very, very effective stuff there. And Blade actually does that. He doesn't just grab somebody, pull them in close, and then throw him away again. No, he uses it to do arm locks, to do elbows and knees and stuff like that. So that's very good. Something that is terrible, really terrible, is also very, very prevalent in movie fights, is even though he's being attacked by a group, they are very polite. They wait their turn They never attack him with more than 1 or 2 people at the same time. And those who it's not their turn, so they queue up nicely. They're probably British vampires. And they wait to get kicked in the teeth. So, with that in mind, let's watch the scene. So here they come. And you can see he could have hit him with that. And he's actually a distance where his kicks would really connect. And he goes in close and uses his knees and a throw. Very good. And even though there's a group, it's always one at a time. That's not so good. Probably a very bad idea. The guy on the left just standing there flailing his arms. Probably still flailing his... Yeah, still flailing his arms. That's a cheap shot, by the way. Now it's his turn. Yes, 2 at the same time. Fighting very uncoordinated, but... well, 2 at a time. Again, very nice. Gripping and getting in close. Now he throws him at the wall and he just stands there. Waiting. Now it's my turn to die. Now we have the problem of the infamous back scabbard. For some reason, people think that back scabbards are cool. Sadly, they are mostly pointless with the majority of swords. In the case of Blade, his scabbard is fixed in a straight position along his spine. That makes drawing the sword very awkward, and it severely limits the maximum length of the blade you can still draw. Also, putting it back can be quite a pain, literally, because if you don't hit the mouth of your scabbard, you might just stab yourself in the back. Movie makers know this, because it is often actually physically impossible to draw or sheath the weapon. So they cheat, and they never show you the complete drawing or sheathing animation. Oh, animation. It's not animated. It's the motion. Yeah, they don't show you the complete motion of drawing or sheathing a sword. And what you get is scenes where you see where he starts pulling out the blade. Then you have a cut. See everything from a different angle where he completely draws the sword. But you don't actually see it leaving the scabbard in his hand, because it can't. And it's the same when then they put it back. There's some flipping around, and then suddenly there's a cut, and suddenly the point of the blade is in the scabbard, or you see the point going into the scabbard, but you cannot see that it is actually Blade doing that. So, yeah. That's what we see here. He grabs the blade, he starts pulling it out, and there's a cut to another angle. Also, the joining noise is stupid.